why can't you marry your son's widow? It's nothing to do with blood relationship. It's something to do with standards. Three of us want to live together and we want to marry. Well, nothing wrong with it. I mean, conceptually, there's nothing wrong with it. You strike it down. You won't. You'll strike it down.
Why?
I think so.
You have a set identity, but you will not enter into marriage.
I come back to your lordships and have it struck down. But now, acceptance is also at three levels. The first is the acceptance by the two individuals themselves, right? That's the seminal level. Then is acceptance by the family. In many cases, there may be acceptance. In some cases, there may not be acceptance or vice versa. I don't know. I don't have the data.
And by society.
And then, it's a concentric circles which has three mullets, like public order, your lordships remember. So there are three concentric circles here. Now, who is to investigate that? This is the problem, Mullat. This is the issue. Who is to look at that? And there we need the aid, Mullats, of all kinds of data, opinions, conversations, discourses, debates. You don't need the constitution for it, quite frankly, Mullats. If you look at the quintessential form of marriage, which is heterosexual couples, why has it stood the test of time, Mullats? Because at all three levels, there is acceptability. Now, you may call it by any name. In the Hindu custom, if you go around the fire, at the end of it, it's complete. In Islam, it's different. In Parsis, it's different. So society recognizes that union and gives it a name. You don't need the constitution for it, quite frankly, Manoj. It is one of those inalienable rights, the right to a union. That inalienable right inheres in them also. That right to that union, Manoj. You may call it by whatever name. But if you want to, Malaj, equate it to a heterosexual union, you need all the elements which go into the heterosexual union being recognized. Look at the institution of marriage as an organic evolution, as an organic evolution of custom and usage. You will realize that its roots inhere in societal acceptance, along with concepts of societal standards and morality. Now, that concept of morality may change. Societal standards may change as they are changing. Both societal standards and morality is changing. But it inheres in that. Why can't you marry your son's widow? It's nothing to do with blood relationship. It's something to do with standards, which the state recognizes as state interest.
Some the state imposes.
Yeah, some state imposes.
Others the state recognizes because it's inherent to order.
Correct. I agree entirely. Entirely. Well, supposing I were to say it's a matter of choice that three of us want to live together and we want to marry. Well, nothing wrong with it. I mean, conceptually, there's nothing wrong with it. Where will you place it? Will you call it a marriage? And Justice Roberts asked this question of a pluralistic relationship to counsel who were arguing. And he said there was no answer. He said that time has not yet come. So choice by itself is a slippery slope because it is
Say that
elastic.
again. Three people want to live together.
That's right. It is elastic. Choice is elastic, Malas.
No, there are societies,
Yes, they
maybe
do.
minuscule, but there are polyandrous.
Of course, of course, of course.
I mean, that perhaps is not there,
That's
but it
correct.
is there in our society.
No, I agree, but therefore, does it get recognition in the form of law? The question is that, Malas, that's the question before your lordships. I am not, Malas, I am not being moralistic about it.
No, without being moralistic,
Yes,
we
I'm
do
not.
recognize
It's
that.
the, it's the reality. It's the reality. It's the reality. So when you base it on choice, it becomes somewhat difficult. And if you base it on equality, it's even more difficult. Now, Malas, let me assume that Parliament were to pass a law tomorrow in respect of same-sex unions. What if that law is challenged saying that you are treating equals unequally? Will you strike it down? You won't. That's the answer to the question. 14 requires equals being treated equally. Equal work for equal pay for equal work. You can't equate a practice that has the sanction of society for hundreds and thousands of years with just as you can't deal with transgenders in the same class as same-sex. Can't deal with that as same class as heterosexuals. So you'll have to have separate regimes. To what extent will you recognize? To what extent you won't recognize? Whether you will give them some civil rights. But I think the starting point of that is recognition of their sexuality, of their sexual identity. It is my request that this court declares that. They have a separate sexual identity. What will happen? What will happen is what happened in Kedan.
Then, Mr. Sibbal, if we declare their sexual identity, as you quite justifiably you are saying that we must, then the court may also then have to contemplate what are the rights which are concomitant to
I'm
the
coming
declaration
to
of
Malas, I have, in fact, all this is in my paper, Malas. I'm not troubling your lordship.
Just to play the devil's advocate.
Sorry?
Just to play the other complete extreme side. Supposing you declare that there is a sexual identity, as you say,
Yes.
as you are saying that you declare a sexual identity, and supposing Parliament comes up with a DOMA.
Yes.
A DOMA.
Yes. You strike it down.
DOMA.
You'll strike it down.
Why?
I think so.
You have a sexual identity, but you will not enter into marriage.
I come back to your lordships and have it struck down. But Malas, I want to say something else to your lordships. That what will happen if you do that? Malas, I am here, Malas, at the center. I am to assist your lordships, Malas. What will happen is Gaidan will happen if you do that. In your rent relationships, Malas, you will automatically get the right for the spouse to